Hello, everybody. EQ here. Welcome to Riven, the sequel to Myst. This is the original port of this game, or basically the original port of this game. This is not a 3D redo. This is not an updated version. This is the original Riven. This is from 1997. It is the sequel to Myst. I think it's actually don't think this is that unpopular of an opinion, but I think it's better than the original Myst. I think the puzzles in this game are brilliant. I think the aesthetics are brilliant. The score is brilliant. The atmosphere, the story. I think all of this game is superbly well done. If you don't know anything about this game, first off, go watch my Myst Let's Play. But secondly, this takes place in a world where there's a man named Atris, and he writes these books called Ages, and if you press your hand to the book, you can go inside of the book and into the world that the book describes. There are like portals to different worlds. In the last game in Myst, we were trapped on an island called Myst, and Atris's sons had burned his library, and we had to sort of like escape and figure our way out. And then it left on a bit of a cliffhanger, and that is where Riven picks up. So, without further ado, let's start a new game. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go on mute just so we can get the full experience.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid that I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. Keep it well hidden. For all reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid, to capture Gan. Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back. There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
Yo? Feriaje. Kakaware po. Modugo po men po. Tagima. rekoa. Tagema musu rekoa. Wisirap. Umutika buku wa nai. Wisirap. Umutika buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Wisirap. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai.
One of my favorite intros to any game, I think, ever. So, we're going to read this book that Atris gave us in just a second, just to sort of like give us the lowdown of what we're doing. It's going to take us a second. But the man at the very beginning writing, that was Atris. It was his sons that we had to sort of escape from in the last game. And he gave us 2 books. He said one was a one-man prison book. That's the book that they just took. And the other one was a journal that sort of is going to tell us about exactly what we're doing here, because he kind of threw us into here with no explanation. So we're going to read this book. It is kind of long. It is going to take a second. We are going to read it. If you don't want to, you can skip it. But we are going to spend time to read all this just so that we understand what the hell we're doing here. So, to begin. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. So Riven is where we are, so this age must have been written by his father. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. I only hope that my revised theories are sound. Revisions to Riven completed. There are still a number of minor adjustments which need to be made, but the basic corrections have been entered and should be working. Something's not right. I've been monitoring the instruments for several hours now, but have thus far observed no change. It's possible that I've made an error, though I've checked my entry against my prenotation and can find no discrepancy. I've not had a rest in nearly 3 days, so it may be that I'm just not seeing it. If the fault is with my foundational assumptions, however, perhaps after a short rest I will see something. Success! It appears that my repairs have been effective after all. The gateway image has become noticeably clearer, and although it is impossible to know this with absolute certainty, the island seems to have quieted itself. The gateway image is the little picture on the book that you see before you press your hand into it. Just a few more weeks of work and I should be free, at last, to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. The past 8 months have left me little time to think, to devise a strategy for getting her out of there. I received no sign from her in all that time. I am afraid that, no, I must assume that she is all right, lest my fears undermine my efforts to bring her back. So Catherine is the woman, I'm pretty sure he said we have to retrieve, so he's not going here to save her, he sent us in here to save her, his wife, Catherine's his wife. I did not create the Age of Riven. Unlike my father, I have never presumed to have such power, and yet the future of all those who live there has fallen into my hands. So far, I've managed to read the page before it turns. The island continues to appear stable, and I would like to believe that I have saved a dying world, but the theories of one individual cannot support the lives of real people indefinitely. I must get everyone off of Riven as soon as possible. The problem is now Gen. I'll never be able to rescue Catherine and relocate the islanders if he is still the man he once was. I haven't seen him in over 30 years, but his history forces me to assume that he is still a threat. His myopic mission to restore the Dunny civilization has left too many innocent cultures dying in its wake, and would continue to do so were he to once again be free of the confines of Riven, or the Fifth Age, as he coldly titled it. The universe has been safe from his corruptive influence for the last 33 years, because no one has been able to leave that age, the last linking book out of Riven having been lost in the Starfisher upon my return to Mist. That happens in, like, the very, very beginning of Mist. The little prequel narration that Atris does is describing this incident. That was my intention, to maroon my father on Riven by removing all of the existing links to other worlds. And since the art of constructing books had been long lost with the fall of the Dunny, he would be trapped there for the remainder of his lifetime, and effectively segregated from the countless other worlds that he would have invaded. In effect, that is what we achieved. But the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal. Though the sting of the incident has gradually faded from my memory, the deep pain of the responsibility for what actually came to be has never left me. At the time, it all seemed so clear. Gen's destructive path could not be allowed to continue. But it was never my choice that the innocent inhabitants of Riven, who had already suffered so much, would be the ones to pay for it. Enough! To dwell in the past is to die in the present. The situation is not the same as it was then. The knowledge I've acquired in the years since that time has yet to be applied to this problem. I think I have the solution. Why it did not occur to me sooner I do not know, unless the idea of it had been pushed out with the thought of my sons. A prison book. Many years ago, during a hunting expedition through the ruins of Dunny, I chanced upon a formula for a most unusual type of book. Unfortunately, due to the fact that my father was then in the habit of confiscating my discoveries, I was forced to leave it behind. Years later, however, as part of my efforts to protect the vulnerable worlds linked to the books in my library, I was pleased to find that I could still recall most of the formula, and with a little experimentation, quickly succeeded in creating one of these devices myself. The procedure is actually quite simple. By altering key lines of text, but slightly, a normal linking book's connection can be partially severed, such that anyone who attempts to use the book will be permanently trapped in the dark void of the link. That is, unless someone else then uses the book, at which point that person will become trapped, and the first person displaced back into the world. That happens in one of the endings of Mist. Atris's sons are trapped in prison books, and if you complete the books and if you touch them, you get thrown into the prison book, and then they get freed. They try to trick you into freeing them. The technique can be applied to books that have already been written, changes to the original text being so slight that anyone who is unfamiliar with the code will be unable to detect them. If indeed my father has not changed, what better bait could there be than a book that appears to be a link back here to Dunny? Trouble. My nightly analysis of the island's condition has revealed that the tremors have begun again. The pattern, however, is new. The disturbances are the result of the changes I have made. This did not, at first, concern me. However, tremors of this type were one of the possible side effects that I had anticipated during this initial phase of the island's readjustment. Still, in order to verify my assumptions, I decided to calculate again, incorporating the new data. The results were not what I expected. The damage to the understructure is more extensive than I'd realized. I can no longer go to Riven as planned. Catherine, forgive me. I must act while I still have the time. The signs are barely visible, but there's no question that the island's deterioration is accelerating. Total collapse is imminent, unless I can keep ahead, and that is becoming increasingly difficult to do. With every passing moment, I gain a clearer picture of the incredible chaos that my father's economy of worlds has yielded, but it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable, and that, at best, I can only strive to delay it now, and hope that at some point the island will become stable enough to risk a rescue attempt. I think I've come up with a way to subdue the tremors. It will require my exclusive attention for at least a month or two, so it may be necessary to discontinue these journal entries for a while. I don't know what these dates are, so I don't know how long it's been between these two entries. Something truly miraculous has happened. Beyond all conceivable probability, someone has finally found my lost Mist linking book and has freed me from this prison. That's us, we did that. I immediately realized that this could be the solution to my dilemma, and I believe my mysterious benefactor is willing to assist me. I'm still not sure it can work. The logistics of such a scheme are formidable, but the mere fact that it may now be possible for me to continue my repairs to Riven and yet proceed with my original intent to find Catherine has given me renewed hope. The last few days have left me little time to work out the remaining problems with sending someone else to Riven. It did occur to me, however, that if a way could be found to signal me once Gen had been captured, it would no longer be necessary to take a real linking book to Riven and to risk the possibility of inadvertently releasing Gen. The deteriorated state of the gateway image makes the use of a visual signal impossible, but the picture remains a reliable indicator of Riven's condition nonetheless. By measuring and interpreting variations in the noise patterns, I'm still able to observe basic changes that occur in the age, even though I cannot see them. The problem is that my instruments can only detect changes that occur on a fundamental level, and it seems unlikely that an individual could affect such an elementary change from within an age. The idea may be foolish. Still, there is a known weakness that may be worth investigating, an anomaly that appears as a rift between two separate systems, the star fissure. But how, or even if, this fact could be exploited, I cannot say. Sending someone to Riven also means that once I received the signal that they were ready to return, I would have to leave my writing in order to take a real linking book there myself. However, provided my father was safely out of the way, this should take very little time. After that, assuming the island does not incur much damage in my absence, it should then be a relatively simple matter to hold it together long enough for Catherine to return to Riven and evacuate the remaining islanders. Predetermining a signal without knowing the topography of the island may prove to be impossible, but I'm afraid there can be only one answer to the question of whether or not I should send my friend to Riven with a way out. The potential for failure will be greatly diminished if the prison book is all that is taken there. I'm sure my father is expecting me to bring a linking book to Riven. May he not be disappointed. Okay, so, from that, here is what we have been sent to Riven to do. We have to go find Atris's wife, Catherine, who is trapped here for some reason, without freeing his father. His evil father, Gen, is here, and that is why we were not sent here with a way out. If we have a book out of here, he might steal it from us, he might escape and then go wreak havoc somewhere else. So we are trapped here until we find Catherine. If we find Catherine, we have to signal him, Atris, somehow, in some fundamental way on the island. We have to do something really big and really drastic so that he'll hear about it, and that he'll come and he'll rescue us. But we can only do that once we've found Catherine, and hopefully gotten Gen out of the way. His evil father is somewhere lurking around. We should get him out of the way, kill him, and free Catherine, and then we can get out of here. So, let's begin. Let's look around. This over here, we cannot, I know for a fact right now that we actually cannot do anything with this. This is, I actually know for a fact, the last puzzle of the game, so we're gonna leave that. But the thing with the prison book, that's what we need to do. Yep, we need to give Gen the prison book, and we don't need to kill him, we need to imprison him. If we imprison him with the linking book, the prison book, but those two guys at the very beginning took the book. There was the guy who was taking it, probably thinking this is a way out, and then there was a guy who got him, made him bite the farm, and that man is down here. So this is the guy who died, but the other guy in the red stole the book, so we're gonna have to find that eventually. Let's walk around. You will notice that this is not like a 3D redo, like I said. This is, we click and then the pictures change. So no 3D, no like looking, no 360 vision, right? This is it. Let's go into this room. I do not know what this says. I've never figured it out. There are these sort of like scarab-looking bugs here that you can look into. And these pictures in here, I'm pretty sure, tell some sort of story. This is like a very sort of, what looks like a very sacred sort of room. So I want to take a look at these pictures here. I don't know which one is first. Yeah, I'm not sure if one of these goes first. Let's just take a look at all these and sort of see what they show us. Okay, so this is a book, right? This is a linking book, and there are these people sort of praying next to it. There are a bunch of trees that have been chopped down, a volcano, a hand here. So there was some sort of destruction, but then there's a book and people praying next to it. There are people with pages. There are 5 people up here, and then one guy sort of like looking down on all of it. I imagine the one guy looking down on all of it is Gen, right? Is Atris's father, his evil father. This is certainly Gen, right? And this looks like Atris and a book falling, and there are stars around here. So there was mention of a star fissure in that journal that we just read, and the linking book to Mist fell through that, and that looks like what happens here. This is probably Gen. This is everybody worshiping Gen, so maybe he made these images. I don't know. Everybody, you know, he's a bit of a dictator, it looks like. And then this is him, Gen, I'm assuming, writing a book, and then, you know, the world coming out of the book, because that's what happens with the ages. That right now looks like all that we can do in this room, because this door is, yeah, locked. We cannot open that right now, so I believe we'll go somewhere else. If we go down here, we cannot get through this door, but we can do, I know from previous experiences, crawl under. And then we can look into the room. Okay, so there's a little peephole here. If we go back, there's this button here. If we press this button, ooh. Okay, so the room rotates. This is another little peephole that we can look into. So now, and if we go back here, oh, whoops. Okay, we can't go in this door. Oh, but there is like it looks like there's like another little cave or something right there. That we can go into. I don't want to do any of this quite yet, just because I want to keep exploring. I have played this game. I've actually played this game a couple of times before. I don't remember everything, but I have. This is not my first time playing this game. Let's go. I want to look around a little bit more before we start to like mess with everything, just so I can sort of like reorient myself. Let's go down this tunnel into this door. Okay, let's see what happens if we go in here. Hang on, I want to take a look at these like panels first. Okay, I'm not quite sure what we're seeing here. I'm not quite sure what we're seeing here either. I want to pull this lever. Okay, so that opens some sort of door, which is good. We love open doors. Let's sit back in this chair. Can we... okay, what happens if I pull this? Okay, can't pull that. Ooh, we can do that. Okay. Now what? Now what if we pull this? Okay, there's like a new noise that has started, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what that noise is. And that lets us out. Okay, so I'm not sure, and actually I don't think I've ever really fully figured out what that chair does. I've played this game before, and I still don't know what that chair does. This door is open, and that's good, but I'm not sure if that chair is supposed to do something, or if that noise is supposed to mean something. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go down this tunnel. Open this door. Come into this room, okay. So this is a big... I don't know, circle. that's the door that we came into. Okay. This looks like the door that we opened, I think, by pulling that lever. And then this. What happens if we press this button? What's that off in the distance? Alright, this is a car that looks like it's gonna or a little ship, plane, car, contraption that looks like a monorail thing that's gonna take us to, looks like that, like, island with all those trees off in the distance. Before we leave, before we go do that, I want to go back to the little rotating room, and I want to see if we can rotate it to a place where we can go through it on the other side with a little cave and see if we go in through there or something, if we can't find something else. Okay, what if we look through this peephole? Do we see anything? Nope, nothing that we didn't see before. Ooh, yes, we can go in. Okay, so now we're in here, and... Ooh, this... Oh, no, that's where we came from. Okay. Okay, so there are two openings. There's a door here, and there's a door here on this side. What if we rotate the room... So we've gone through this opening in the room, but there's another one here. So I think if we rotate the room twice more, because I think the room rotates this way to our left. So I think if we rotate the room twice more, this opening will be where we are standing right now, and we'll be able to go through, like, this wall right here, I think. So let's give that a shot. Let's rotate the room twice more and see if we can't, go in through there. Can I skip this animation? I forget if I can skip this. Oh, yes, I can't skip that animation. Okay, great. Can we go through this place at all? No, okay, that's another closed door. Okay, let's rotate it one more time. I'll skip the animation for right now because we've seen it. Okay. I think this is right. I think we should be able to go in through here. Yes, okay, we can go in through here. And now, yes, down this tunnel, which we have not been to before. Okay. Okay, this picture here looks like that, very first structure that we saw outside of our cage, right? That looks like a picture of that, and then there's all this, yep, that's what this is. And then there's like a bunch of steam coming from up here. I imagine that the steam needs to be off, so let's turn it off. Yeah, maybe now instead the steam is going through like this pipe over here. I don't know, hopefully that does something. Wait, what does this do? That sort of almost sounded like a gate was maybe opening. So let's rotate this room a little bit more and see if maybe that was a... Can I skip the sound effect? No, okay. Let's see if one of those, like, closed gates, when we were rotating this room, let's see if one of those have opened. Okay, can't go in through there. We might have to rotate it 2 times or 3 times, maybe, I'm not sure. Yes, okay, so this gate here, this panel here, panel here was locked before. There was a gate. Now the gate is open. Can we go through here? No, that's closed. Okay, what if we pull this? What happens? Does it open? No. I hope that we open another gate. I hope that's what happened there. Okay, what if we... Okay. Let's rotate this twice. I hope that we're gonna be able to get out of here. Honestly, I usually wing this room. I usually sort of just press buttons until I get out. So let's hope that, you know, we have a better time with it this time. Okay, so now... Okay. We can get out back to the main entrance here, but... We still... Oh! What I want... Oh, hang on. Let's rotate this. If we rotate this room twice, we'll be able to go in through this way over here, I'm pretty sure, because I think we opened that gate. I think both of those levers open both of those panels. So let's make sure that that's what happened. Yes! Beautiful. Okay, so now this gate is open too. Now we can go through here and go into this sort of like big yellow dome right here. Okay. I know what this means, but we've not figured this out yet, so we're going to leave that. We're going to leave this beef right now. Okay, so it looks like there are lots of pipes and lots of water. This is maybe where that steam is coming from that we saw earlier. Let's go down here. Okay. So this looks like a ladder of some sort that maybe opens and closes. If you follow this piping, it's like there. So what if we change that ladder? Does the stairs fall? No, they don't. Okay. So let's put that back because I'm actually not quite sure what that's doing. The steam puzzles on this island always screw me up a little bit. Let's go down this tunnel for a second. Oh, maybe. Okay, so there are two of them. Two of these little, like, stair pictures. So maybe they both need to be off. So we turn that one off. I don't know what this is up here. I'm not sure how to get there. If we do that, and then... What if we turn both of these off to those stairs? Now, are the stairs where they're supposed to be? No, they're not. Okay, great. So hopefully that, I don't know, hopefully they didn't fuck something up. Over here, can we do something with anything over here yet? There is something we can do over here. I know that there is, but we just can't do it quite yet. Yeah, maybe that's later. Okay, that's later. Okay, I think... I'm gonna look around. I think that's everything we can do on this island for right now. I'm still not quite... I'm honest to God never quite sure what these steam levers do. That's something else that I sort of just, like, wing until... until I get it right. Yeah, we can't go anywhere else in this dome thing. We did all the stuff. There's nothing really to do down there. We sat in that chair, which didn't really do anything. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to go on this car to the next island, but that is going to happen next time. So until then, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first little island of Riven. See you next time, and have a great rest of your day.